It's our last episode of People and Places with focus on the people of Equiam and their history. We've learned a lot so far, but let's see what this last segment has for us. Our guest is still Nana Ado Kwata, the Asafo Kronti-Osafohene of the Equiams. Nana, yes. Let's talk about Chieftaincy.
Okay.
Who is qualified to be a chief?
Okay. Among the royal family members, we have what we call elders and the Okuapehene. If it is on a matrilineal line, then the women folk, they have a leader whom we termed as a Brewetia.
Okay.
Then we have the elders or the women elders whom we call Miampenfu.
Okay.
So the Brewetia together with Miampenfu sits. They sit down to select one of their children or the royals whom they think is fit for the stool.
Okay.
Based on certain qualities and clarifications. For example, that person, if by reducing it to a level, if he's an uncle, a nephew or grandson, or that in that order, or his matrilineal mother is the oldest among the sisters, they pick from that area. In short, there is a family tree to trace and find the one suitable for the stool.
Okay. But how did this system come to place? Who decided that it's the Abrewatia and the Miampenfu who should decide who the king or the chief should be?
Okay. In every royal house, in order not for confusion to ensue, they sat down during the olden times and came out with a plan that this is how things must be done so that peace and tranquility will prevail in all the houses.
Okay. Now we know the role of the Abrewatia.
Yes, sure.
Does the Equiam system have queen mothers?
Yes.
And if they do, who are they and what is their role?
The queen mother. The queen mother is in charge of all the women folks in the township.
Okay.
But in Equiam, the queen mother doesn't have that authority to nominate somebody from a ruling house.
Who is the queen mother?
The reason being, all our stools, houses, are on rotational basis.
Okay.
We are not on one line. We are on rotational basis. For example, I gave mine as an example. I'm from Buaf. My respected uncle, the Kronti-Osafohene of Okuapehene, the senior divisional chief, he is from Achiman.
Okay.
Now the queen mother is from Achiman. So this queen mother don't know us in Buaf. He don't know us. So he cannot come into Buaf and select somebody to be a chief. If you ask her, who is my grandmother, he doesn't know. See what I'm saying? But the Abrewatia from my house knows everybody in the house. And he knows the right person to be on the throne. So the Abrewatia has the capacity to nominate somebody from the house.
So the Abrewatia is more powerful than the queen mother?
No. The queen mother is powerful than the Abrewatia. But when it comes to instrument, selection of candidate, Abrewatia has his role. He is to elect that person, nominate that person to the queen mother. The queen mother is an elector.
Okay.
Is an elector. In this world, we can never get a nominee and elector at the same time. You can nowhere can somebody be a nominee and elector at the same time? That is despotic. You can't do that anywhere, the whole world. So somebody has to nominate, and you go and do verification if the person qualifies to be on the throne, and that is the election.
Okay. So the Abrewatia will nominate for the Queen Mother.
Yes.
And the Queen Mother does her investigations.
I was nominated by my Abrewatia. She nominated me and gave me to my Okuapehene, and my Okuapehene took me to the Queen Mother and told the Queen Mother, the Kronti-Osafohene, that this is the candidate we prefer to be the Osafohene of Kronti Division. The Queen Mother will sit and say, okay, Osafohene is a bad guy. Once upon a time, he was in prison from 1973 to 1989. He has been in prison more than, that sort of thing. He cannot be. Then you call the Abrewatia again, your candidate is rejected. You have another 2 chances. So he is to bring another person again. But the Queen Mother cannot come into the Okuapehene house and say that instead of me, he prefer my younger brother. No.
Because she doesn't know.
He doesn't know the people there.
The people in the house.
He doesn't know them. No.
Okay.
It's never done anywhere, and you shouldn't encourage it at all. Okay. That is my beef.
Okay. So you mentioned that the Abrewatia has 2 more nominations if the Queen Mother rejects one.
Yes.
After those 2 are also rejected, then what happens?
If the 2 are, definitely the 2 will not be rejected. Okay. Definitely one will get the nod to be installed. Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
But
if the 2 is rejected, then it must go to her house again. That means this house doesn't have any candidate.
But that doesn't happen. Or it hasn't happened.
Normally, that's never happened.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. But I want to know who the Queen Mother is and how she's selected.
The Queen Mother is also selected in the same line. The Abrewatia nominates one of the females.
In a particular house.
In a particular house.
Okay.
And offer him to the kingmakers for verification and scrutinize and everything, and she is accepted. Period. That is how we Okuapehene we know. We have this Abrewatia system. It has been there since time immemorial. The Ashantis are different from us when it comes to this line of chieftaincy. They are from one house. Only the people from the Osetutu dynasty are ruling. So they know them. But ours is Oforukuma came with his sisters. 3 sisters. See what I'm saying? And the 3 sisters are separate. The Amoja, the Nketia, and the Sechiabia. And for 300 years. So how can you come from Amoja and detect that this person from Sechiabia is supposed to be a chief?
So those 3 sisters are the 3 stools?
Yes.
The 3 houses?
The 3 houses. The gates.
Okay.
Yes.
That the Okuapehene comes from?
That's it.
Okay. And the same for the Queen Mothers
too? For the Queen Mothers too.
Those 3 houses?
Yes, 3 houses. Okay. So currently the Queen Mother is at Nketia. When it's not there, that is not what we wish. But when it's not there today, it goes to Sechiabia. Because it's on rotational. It goes to Sechiabia. In the same vein, the Abrewatia will nominate somebody among the female royals to be on the throne. It's as simple as that. Very simple and straightforward.
Okay. So talking about
being royals, most times we are difficult. That is our lifestyle.
Okay. So then let's talk a little about what happened with the installation of this Okuapehene.
Yeah, sure.
What went wrong?
Something went wrong. Something went wrong. The only thing some of us saw is Queen Mother entered into that house and picked somebody. he's supposed to have allowed them to do their own selection.
And bring it to her.
Bring it to her. That's all. It could be A, it could be B, it could be C. Let them fight there for 1 year. Kill themselves. They will come out to one person at the end of the day. And Okuapehene, we are ready to accept that person.
So it wasn't in her place to have
done
that?
Wrong. Wrong.
So what's, after the whole thing, have things been cleared with the Aberewatia and the Queen Mother?
Yes, because at the end of the day, the court is the highest order. The court has ruled. So we all support what the court said.
But I mean, traditionally, is there peace between both camps?
The Queen Mother
and the Aberewatia? No, and the Aberewatia.
And the Aberewatia?
Yes.
There's supposed to be peace. I don't see anything wrong. And bet me, it could be so. But in about 3-4 months later, everything will be all right.
So what's this thing I hear about some people bringing rams and it's being refused and all of that?
My lady is taking me into a very massive, controversial issues. You heard of rams and whatever, schnapps and whatever,
Yeah.
you know. I think the authority is looking for peace.
Okay.
Peace must prevail in Okuapehene. I don't see anything wrong. They didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
But the misinterpretation of the whole issue brought these troubles and whatever we had.
Okay.
It's just unfortunate.
Okay.
Maybe the presentation wasn't done well, or maybe people misconstrued the idea of the whole thing, which I cannot say because I don't know much about that area.
Okay. All right.
But all what I know is the authority is trying to pacify for peace to prevail, which didn't work out.
Okay.
But I don't know much about who requested for what or who did what. So that one is above me.
All right. Let's get back to the issue of chieftaincy.
Yeah, sure.
How many chiefs have you had, the Equiams, and who has been your oldest so far?
The current one is the 24th. Yeah. And the oldest is Osiadio Nanado Dankwa.
How old was he? Okay.
Yes. He ruled for 41 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And at what age did he become chief?
At the age of 44.
Okay.
At the age of 44.
That was the oldest chief.
Some of them came
At a more older age.
older
But he ruled the oldest.
Yes, he ruled for long.
Okay.
41 years, yes. Yes.
All right. Let's take a short break. We'll be back to learn more about chieftaincy and other issues.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next. To the
I
answer.
don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you deny funny face. It's not my brother. Today you deny funny face. I don't know him. You don't know funny face. It's not my brother. You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Boabin Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
Welcome back. This is still People and Places, and before the break we were talking about chieftaincy and how the selection process is supposed to be. we continue the conversation. Nana, Osadeoyo Kwesi-Akuffo the second. Can you please tell us about him and his role as the Okuapehene, especially seeing that he's the youngest on the paramount seat so far? Yeah.
Okay. Osadeoyo Kwesi-Akuffo is a man of many parts. First of all, he schooled in Ghana, went to United States, and graduated from one of the good universities, gained unemployment, and proceeded to do his master's. But then, intervention came in, he has to come down for this great job. He has been around for the past 3 years because of this litigation and whatever that has delayed so many things. But eventually, he has got the nod to be the Okuapehene. He is our overlord, and he oversees the whole of Okuapehene. All the Okuapehene states is under his care. And we all respect him and we give him that mandate to rule us. Osadeoyo Kwesi-Akuffo gained an employment even in Ghana during the education time with the UN as a youth ambassador. And there again, he played an extraordinary role there. I said that he's a man of many parts because with his youthful exuberance, he can enter into so many spheres. And we can see how about just 6 weeks on his ascension to the imperial throne, how people coming from all angles with business and with other things, I mean, trying to boost Okuapehene or bring Okuapehene to a standard. That is what all of us we are looking up to. A leader who can carry the mantle and go before. And I think he has all the qualities he deserves. We pray that he will continue like this for Okuapehene to get to the top.
Okay, let's go back a little into history, or a little back in time. So we had Nana Kwesi-Akuffo the first, who left over a period, came back, and was made Abebio. Okay. This current Okuapehene is Kwesi-Akuffo the second. Is he not supposed to be the third?
Okay, that thing came up. Some of us, it was a bit controversial. But I think the mistake, or whatever they call it, was from the National House of Chiefs, that is supposed to be the third. But some of us still didn't like it, because the man who came first and came second was the same person. So we don't see the reason why this one coming as the third, because it has happened before. Nana Kwamfuri Okuapehene was distilled. First we had Kwamfuri the first. When he died, then Nana Kwesi-Akuffo came. Then we had Nana Kwamfuri the second, and he was distilled. He went and came back again as Kwamfuri the second.
Okay.
The books are there. So we don't see why they tackle it this way. But we'll argue out and see what will happen. Because it has happened before. And the records are there.
Okay.
There are arguments. I think we are to work it out very well. Yeah.
But when Kwesi Ofori the first, Kwesi Akufu, sorry, the first left, within the 10-year period, who was filling his seat?
Nano Furukuma came in.
Okay.
Nano Furukuma came in. When he was destooled, Nano Furukuma came in. And after Nano Furukuma, then he came back again in 1920.
What had happened to Nano Ofori?
Furukuma also was destooled.
Okay.
You see, during that period, destoolment was very frequent. That's why we see Osiadioyo Adodankwa III as a peacemaker, a man who actually brought Okuapehene to a level unprecedented. To me, he's one of the best chiefs ever. Osiadioyo Adodankwa III. Because Equiam, you see, it's not an easy group. We are a heterogeneous society. We have the Guans, the Okiri, the Kamenes, the Eburi, the remnants of Akwemu, you know, and the Akims. And when you sit in a traditional council with such a group, it's not easy. When you go to Achim, Ochinyin is having all of them as Achims. When you go to Asante is having all of them as Asantes. But here, it's not like that. It's not like that. So, our system here is a bit difficult. So, the destoolment before was very frequent. And Osiadioyo managed to hold the fort.
He was even tempted twice.
Yes. He managed to hold the fort for 41 years.
Wow.
Credit to that great man.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And I know there's someone called the okra of the chief.
Yes.
Can you explain that for us?
He is the soul, the embodiment of the chief. That boy sitting in front of him carries the Oboman. And that is the spiritual of Okuapehene. He's holding it, he's carrying it, and he sits in front of him. He is the embodiment of Okuapehene. Yes, he's the soul of Okuapehene.
So he's a very important
important personality, and he's being led by the leader of the okra. We call it Akrahene. And he is in the traditional system, he is the wife of Okuapehene. He feeds Okuapehene.
Okay.
They eat together. The two of them put their hand in one bowl. Yes.
And how is the okra selected?
Okra is selected. We have special houses that produce
In the same way.
the okra. Yeah.
Okay.
And they have a special thing they make into his neck. And in those days, if he goes into somebody's house and you offer him a food and it's not from the chief's parish, that necklace will tear apart. Yes. So always you meet him carrying the thing in his hand. That means he has entered a place and eating, you know, which is unlawful. And that signal that in Twi we say he's unlawful. Somebody eating from people's house. You say, yeah. So that is one thing about.
Can someone refuse to be a chief or an okra or a queen mother?
Yeah, you can refuse. You can refuse. I mean, when the selection, they ask you to come and do it, you can tell them, no, maybe this is my background, I cannot be. Yeah. You know, nowadays, you can see people struggling for. So how do somebody refuse? People are struggling for it. So.
And the okra?
The
like,
okra.
Before you're born, can you be an okra? Since it's by houses.
It's by houses, and as I'm telling you, the okra, they are selected at a very young age.
At what age?
Between 6, 7, 8,
Okay.
thereabouts. So he doesn't know much.
Okay. Then let's go to major challenges of the Equiam people. What would you term as your major challenges?
That's one I gave you, that we are heterogeneous. We are different segments, you see. So that makes it very difficult many a times. You know, we've been living together for over 300 years. We understand each other very well. There is that brotherhood between all of us. But at a certain point in time, there are disagreements. So that makes things very difficult at times. But we are living very peaceful. We've been coexisting for 300 years. It's not easy thing. But, you know, even twins, they do fight.
Yeah.
So the same thing applies to us.
Okay. Okay. And what can you, as people of Equiam, boast of in terms of resources, natural resources? For instance, the Asantes boast of gold. They say Otokoko Sonana and all of that. What resources do you boast of as Equiams?
All what I will tell you is, that's why the Equiams, we don't waste time in going to school, because that is our only weapon. Now we are being challenged because schooling is all over in Ghana. So now we cannot talk much of it anymore. But previous years, all teachers in Ghana were from Equiam. Every school in Ghana in about 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, are Equiams. Yes, but now it has turned because everybody is schooling now. We thank God for that.
How is it benefiting you?
Now we check the current. That's why somebody said Kufuor government is nepotism. Not that. At the time of going in for Chief Justice, my sister qualifies, Sophia qualifies to be a Chief Justice. So, when they were looking for IGP, our brother qualifies to be the IGP. So,
Okay.
when they were looking for Chief Attorney General, again my sister Gloria, you know, so I don't see the nepotism people were saying here. But these are people with that qualification to that position. I don't know. I mean, there can be so many people around as people were putting up. Yes, but in line even, I think Sophia qualified at that time to be a Chief Justice. So, what else can we do?
How about cocoa?
We brought the cocoa here from Venedepo, but our lands were not fertile for it.
Okay.
So it traveled all the way from here to Sefi, to Brongahafo, to Ashanti region. And it is now effective crop in Ghana. But we don't have it here now. That's it. So we cannot talk much about it. Because when we pass through our areas here, we don't have it. But we are living on gravels. So how can you plant cocoa here? It's impossible.
Yeah.
So we planted in certain areas, and even we never, succeed. And our language, the Twi language, the first Bible, everything was in Twi, Equiam Twi. It was through there, they translated it into Ga, they translated it into Ewe, they translated it to Asante and Akim Twi. You see what I'm saying? Yes, sure. So that is our resources. We don't have gold. We don't have diamond. Even our language, the Equiam itself, is going down because the Ashantis are majority. Out of the population of about 30-something million, they alone can boast of about, if I'm not mistaken, about 12 million. And how can 1 million people stand face to face with 12 million people? They will, outclass you.
Yeah.
So definitely our tree, the pacha we see, is gone. Now we all saying the same. So that is that. Our next neighbor driving speak Asante. Even the Achims, they are speaking Asante. So where are we now? Yes.
Before we go though, let's talk about language. What's the language of the Equiam people?
Equiam tree. But we have our native languages too. As I said, the Guans, they speak the Guan language. The Okra, they speak the Chirpon language. No, but our major language is the Chi, Equiam Chi. Yes. But they speak their native languages. But from Ekropon up to Eburi down to Sound, we speak Chi. But they, when they are various townships, they speak the Latin or this thing. But they speak Chi. When you go there, you see that they are speaking. School every day do Chi.
But you have Guans.
We have Guans.
Okay.
They have the Latin, the people from Latin and its surroundings.
Okay.
And the Okra, the Chirpons, they also speak their own language. Yeah.
Thank you very, very much. It's been an extensive lecture and I've learned a lot. I'm pretty sure all our viewers have been educated about everything about the Equiapims. We are so grateful for having us. Thank you so much. That would be all for today and this edition. We spent a day in the palace of the Kronti-Osafohene, Nana Addo Kwata, and he's educated us a lot about the history of the Equiapim people. Thank you for joining us. Till we meet in the next edition, my name is Wandami Hagan, and this is People and Places.